Good morning, students. I hope you all are fine. Now, in your previous period, we learned about your basic utilities, okay, and that was your last topic was your Skype, which we learned in your 13th chapter. Okay, that was your last topic for your theory part. Now, today onwards, we are going to start with your practical chapter that is known as your object-oriented concepts. Okay. Now, what do you mean by object-oriented concept? The thing is that in late 1960s, during that time, we have introduced the object-oriented concept. Nowadays, the best and the simple way, if I'm saying that we all have heard about Java programming language, C programming language, C++, ASP.NET, okay, PHP. I think ASP and PHP are not familiar with you guys, but normally you have heard about Java, C++, QBasic, such things you have heard, and in the basic in your lower classes also. You have learned about your QBasics, and in 10th standard also you learn C programming language. Okay, now for your 12th standard, from 6th chapter onwards, 6, 7, 8, 9 chapter are your Java programming language, which is known as your OOP. The full form of OOP is your object oriented programming language. Underline it. The full form of OOP. This you have to write in your notebook, okay? Object oriented programming language. Okay, this is the full form of object oriented programming language. Now, this has been introduced in the 1960s, but after 1980s, they have implemented it. Okay, till then they have not implemented it. That means they have not used such programming language, but after 1980s they started using such kind of programming language. Now, in this programming language, the basic concepts I will be saying that the thing is that, as you know, that each and every website, you know that we are using the HTML. Okay, nowadays software developers, what they used to do, they used to make a website or applications, okay, softwares. Such applications or the websites are made in programming languages by using the object oriented programming language. And the best example of your object oriented programming language is that Java, C, C++, .NET, C Sharp. These are your best example of examples: Java, C, C++, C Sharp, ASP.NET, PHP, Python. Python is also a programming language. Python. These are your examples of your programming language. Now, in this 6th chapter, we are not starting with any programming topic. We will be just learning the basic concept. That means some definitions will be there. What do you mean by class, variable? See, there is no, you can see class, introduction to class, variables. There is no kind of programs. That means Java programs won't be there, only just the introduction. Okay, so introduction means only the definition part will be seen in your this 6th chapter. Okay, so we will be starting with your first topic, that is known as your objects. Now, as you know that if I'm saying the best example of your classroom, in your classroom, you know that basic thing is that table, chair, bench. These are your basic things which is available in your classroom. Okay, as a non-living thing. In living thing, we will be considering as a we students, that means we teachers as well as your students will be as a living thing. Now always remember, while declaring a class, okay, while declaring a class, a keyword should be the class keyword. Write it down, students. You have to write because this is an important topic. While declaring class, keyword class should be used. This is the first thing while declaring a class. Okay, inside this class we will be declaring many objects and variables. That means, as I told you, in your classroom we will be having many objects, that is your chair, table, okay, such things will be there. And along with that, we students will also there. That means the whole group of things, that means objects and the students will come together and forms a classroom. Okay, this is the first topic, that is your class, for declaring a class. Okay, now in class, always remember, in classroom, as I told you, it should be declared, the first keyword should be declared as a class, and inside this class we have to declare objects. Now, as I told you before, objects means your chair, table, benches, such are your objects. Okay, along with that, I told you, students, these students are your variables. Okay, this is the best example. That means best examples of your object is that your chair, table, pen, pencil, etc. Table are your examples of your object, as well as in your variables means you students. That means, in according to your max, while studying in your max subject, you used to take a variables, that is your a, b, c, or a x, y, z. Such variables will be using. Okay, uh, this was your variables according to your max, but according to your computer subject, and we will be also using the variable, that is x, y, z, a, b, c, p, q, r. Such are your example. That means any alphabetical alphabets will be considered as a variable. It depends on us which variables we want to declare it. Okay, so don't think that we can only use this xyz only. It's not necessary. A, b, c, a comma b, c, p, q, r. That means any alphabets will be considered as a variables. I hope you understood this concept, that is your class concept, objects and variables. That means while declaring a class, always a class keyword should be written, and in that particular class that we will be having the objects and variable. Objects means your examples are your chair, table, pen, pencil. These are your examples of your objects, and variables means you students. Okay, and each and every another best example of your variables is that x, y, z, a, b, c. That means any alphabets will be considered as a variables. Okay, now as you know that each and every variables will be having a different nature. Different nature means, as you know that, attributes means their nature. Suppose if I, as a student, I am having a different nature. That means if when I might be lazy, I will be more talkative. Okay, I might be overthinker. Okay, so such things will be considered as my attributes. That means personality or my nature will be considered as a attributes. As you all know that it's not necessary each and every students will be having the same attributes. Attributes, as I told you, means attributes means nature. Okay, and as you know that it's not necessary each and every students will be having same attributes. That means some might be tall, some might be short, some might be fat, some might be small, thin. Okay, some might be having using specs. So that means each and every person will be having their own quality. and this quality is known as your attributes. Understood? Okay, this is the basic concept of your OOP, and the full form of OOP is your object oriented programming language. Underline, you have to write these things whatever I am explaining you, because these are your some important MCQs which is being asking in many years. Okay, so now according to this is a class. Okay, a class has been declared, name, city, a person is being class. Okay, in that we are declaring a variables. In each and every variable they will be having their own attributes. Now first one, as you can see, Miss Dana Rajkot, female. Okay, this 9/9/1922 player, these are the attributes. Okay, that means a special quality is known as your what? Attributes. Underline, underline in from your last one. Okay, in object oriented terminology, next page, such characteristics, that means such characteristics means for example, every person has characteristics like name, city, gender, date of birth, profession. Okay, so such characteristics are known as your properties or attributes, which I have explained you right now. Okay, you have to underline these things. What do you mean by properties or attribute? That means, as I told you, each and every person we will be having a different attribute. Attributes means I was saying about the character or the nature, not only a nature. Over here, according to the term, they can be known as the name. As you know that each and every person will be having their own unique name. Okay, then city, from it's not necessary each and every person will be from particular Surat city, maybe from other city also. Gender, male and female or other options will be there. Now date of birth, each and every person is not having the same date of birth. Profession, okay, as then it is not necessary that each and every person will be a doctor, engineer, professor or any other thing. Okay, that means such kind of things are known as your attributes or properties. Okay, and I hope you all have understood. Suppose if a person is getting taking a birth. Okay, if a child is taking a birth. Okay, and in case, that means that particular hospital will be considering that on that particular day will be considered as a date of birth. That means if that particular boy or a baby is born today, that means today's date is, according to me, it is 29/7. Okay, 29/7. So according to me, that particular boy's date of birth will be 29/7/2020. Okay, this is your method. That means, and another example is that on which area, that means that particular city, if that particular baby is taking birth in Surat, that also in Seventh Hospital, that means a Metas Advantage Hospital, that means that hospital can be considered as a methods. Okay, I hope you all understood. The thing is that a class will be there, inside that particular class objects will be there, and variables, as I told you, each and every variables will be having their own properties or attributes. That means that they will be having their own nature, and this nature will be different in each and every person. This personal distinction is known as your methods. Okay, and always remember, while declaring a class, a class keyword should be used. Okay, then only it will be a complete. And this was your today's topic. Again, we will be doing a revision. Today's topic was your OOP, which is known as the full form of OOP is your object oriented programming language. And the examples of your OOP are your Java, C, C++, C Sharp, ASP.NET, PHP, Python, etc. These are your basics example of your OOP. And the first topic is about your class. And as I told you, while declaring a class, we have to declare using the keyword, by using the keyword that is known as your class. Okay, and in class we will be having objects, variables, methods, such things will be there. And objects means, as I told you, that the thing which we can see only. Okay, that means here chair, table, pen, pencil, according to your classroom. Okay, in your variables, that means the best example of your variables are your students, and each and every students, as I told you, they will be having their own quality, and this quality means what happens, they will be having their own nature. And this nature means their own unique name, date of birth, place in where they have been born, which, okay, such things will be considered as their particular attributes or methods. Okay, I hope you all understood today's topic, and from next period onwards we will be learning about more details in that particular topics. Thank you, students.